All right. So got some green in my audio. Perfect. Great. Well, welcome to another little resource webinar live recording. What we're basically going to do today is we're going to upload the audio file, which you may have just seen me edit for our raw episode 65, into what we call Omny Studio. So basically, Omny is a platform that we came across later on in the piece. We actually launched our podcast using one method, and then we realized that Omny had a lot more powerful tools and features, and so we moved over to Omny. Now, I have to say, and a big shout out to the developers at Omny, they have a one-button click import. So if you're hosting your podcast in any other platform or self-hosted on your own server and you want to move, you just basically put your old feed, click import, it goes off and imports all the stuff, and you come back about a day later and everything's there, and then you can make the switch over to your new feed to tell the internet that all your files now live at Omny. So this is all part of the podcast launch code content. So some of the things I share in here would assume that you've already gone through the process of starting up a podcast. So you know what a podcast RSS feed is and things like that. If not, then check out podcastlaunch.co, where we help you amplify your message via basically showing you how to launch your own podcast. So check it out if you have any information or want to basically take your business to the next level and amplify what you've been basically trying to tell by the use of a podcast, which for us has been game changer. And for you, I'm sure it will be as well. And you get mentoring and one-on-one coaching and a whole suite of resources like this to help you get your podcast launched. So let's jump into it. Let me start the screen sharing. All right, so this is what the Omny platform looks like. I was ready. So basically, yes, if you are wanting to join the Omny Studio, there is a little bit of a referral program, which I didn't even kind of know about until just before. But if you invite fellow podcasters, they'll add credit. I don't even know what the credit is. It doesn't even tell me. So whether it's $1 or whether we get a month free. But the other great thing about this, and I'll show you, it's pretty open and transparent, but we only pay $9 US a month to have access to this Omny Studio. And as I take you through the demo, you'll see like some of the features that it has. It's just mind-blowing. So let's go back to the homepage. Basically, once you log in, you get given, you can actually run multiple shows here. It costs more, but we're on the one show. We don't need any more, and we click Razor Sharp Show. Now, let me just have a little bit of a chat to you about this in a minute. So basically what this is here is we've created like a little bit of a process. So every time that we need to do something, I can load up our Trello list, which is our like kind of lean version of a process, to see what needs to happen every time we edit a show. Now, what happens is, basically I can come in here, and this is what we covered off in the other video. If you watch that, we, used Audacity, we did a noise reduction, we did a compress and so forth. We exported the audio. I moved it to Google Drive, which it's now syncing. And I updated our master document to say that episode's now ready and so forth. But then we move over to publishing, which is actually what we're doing today. And then we've also got a bit of a process for promoting, which we're still working on that. So create the artwork in Canva, download the artwork and all that. Because this is a raw episode and the artwork is the same every single time, we skip that. We don't need to do that at all. So then the next step here is to upload the audio and the artwork to Omny. So basically to do that, what we do, what have I done here? Clips, upload. All right, so once you load up, I've just got some data that I got confused with. All right. So once you go into Omny, there is going to be all your clips. So Omny uses this thing known as clips. So basically, each episode is what's known as a clip. You can actually record directly into Omny as well. We have never really played around with that. Your podcast show is actually what's known as a playlist. So we only have one playlist. It's got some really cool analytics. It shows you a lot of information. But as you can see here, these are all the episodes. The raw episodes always have the same artwork and so forth. It's nothing really new or fancy. But the way that it works is if I just open up Google Drive, you won't see this because I'm not sharing that. But if I go into my show structure, go to episode 65, I'll actually let me share you that so I can just show you a little bit. So let me go to here, Finder. So we have everything in Google Drive. It's under Razor Sharp Show. We've got shows. These are all the show files. They're all numbered. We've gone, a little tip is to start with a 3-number naming convention, because eventually when you get to show 100, you don't want 100 to be grouped up to top with 1 and 11. So if we're obviously bound by going to 999 with this system, but it's just a nice keeping thing. You can see some of the shows that I've got come up. These are all my pre-recorded shows, so they've got just labeled with X's. But here is the audio for 65. And it's literally as simple as just dragging and dropping. But in order for me to show you that, I need to go back to Omny and I could show you my desktop. Oh, even better. So basically all we need to do there is go here and drag it over to here, and it automatically detects that we're about to drop a new program or a new clip. It starts uploading the clip. Now I go to an older raw one for the artwork. I always drag that over to here as well. So you can see now that it's starting to upload the artwork. And I just go back to Chrome so it doesn't get too confusing. So that's basically it. So what's happening now behind the scenes is that this audio file is uploading. We're going to give this episode another name. Now I just always tend to copy the one before. So if we check the process, we're going to upload it, copy the show name to master. I'll do that later because I don't need to bore you with that kind of admin stuff. We're adding the show notes and so forth. So that's what I'm basically doing now. Let's see. So I'll go to another raw episode here. And so these are the infos. I tend to just copy that and paste it here. And then I'll copy that and paste it here. Now, I know that a lot of the notes are going to be very different, but just it brings over most of the information I need to share. So you can see that uploading the artwork's already done. What are we going to do? This is 65, and we're going to talk about, in this episode, we talk about what the title of your book would be. If someone wrote a book about, I'm trying to type with a microphone in my way. Would be, ... If someone wrote a book about me, what would the title would be ... Ray and Matt continue the answer the theme of the Razor Round questions. Might share something that they've learned. So that was last one. Share what the title of their book would be if someone would write a book about them. And we also covered off a few other things, but I can't remember right now. I'll tweak that later. Things that we mentioned in the book, but were books, so we didn't really cover off anything like that. And then I'll update all that as well. But for the sake of not boring you to death in me typing and stuff, then what we do is we select a playlist. So this clip needs to belong to a playlist. So this, this platform is great if you're going to host multiple shows, or you're going to become a bit more of a network down the track. But this is part of the Razor Sharp show. We do tick the little button for them to auto level the clip. We just think, why not? If they're going to run another little filter over it, that's even better. Now, this episode here, I believe, was explicit because I got to a certain point where I started speaking about sugar, and I said, I think I dropped the F-bomb. But anyway, now the subtitle, we just normally copy the first line of what's this, talk about. We just normally do that. So we copy that and we put that in the subtitle. Tags we kind of leave really empty. And then what we do is we also have an override RSS link. So basically what happens is when you join Omny, if someone was watching your episode and they wanted to find out more information, it will take you to your Omny website, which by all means is actually really nice looking and is a great MVP if you're going to start your podcast and you don't want to build your own website. But what we do is we have our own website and we have shortcuts to take people to the right episode number, right episode page. And for us, it's always / whatever episode number it is. So this is /65. So that's all we need to do for that. We're going to make this publish. So as soon as it finishes uploading, we're going to publish it. Now, while that finishes, I might remove that. I do believe there is a part 4. So I'm going to do that. Sorry about this boring stuff, but it's all part of the process. Remove the link. Okay, so part 4. We've been 63. And then this one here will be part 5. So just went blank. 63. 63. And we always put them in new windows because we don't want people to leave the website, because this also will get copied over to our actual website. Cool. I remembered what the other thing. We also chat about the smallest change we have made that has had the biggest impact. And there was a link, show note link, show notes, put a dot. And you can see the upload's finished. It's telling me that it goes for 21 minutes and 49 seconds. That's all uploaded. Like it's been, 15 minutes, not even. It's uploaded a 20-minute episode to that. Now, Matt decided to share that on my website. I have a link to something. Let me see if I can search. It was problem solver. So it was a blog article or a YouTube video about how, because I talk about basically how we're all problem solvers, and it was actually day 3 of my vlog challenge where I actually spoke about the same topic that I brought up here, and Matt actually reminded me about that because I totally had forgotten. So I'm going to put a link to that in that show note. Watch the video and read the and then I might do this as a neat link because it's quite long. So paste that there, new window. Okay, cool. Watch the video and read the blog about problem solvers here. Okay, pretty simple, nothing forward. We do and also have this little ending thing, which is thanks for listening. You can review and iTunes and so forth and contact us. And that's it. We basically push save changes and publish. Now, within about a minute or not even, that will now start to be live. So basically what happens now is, if we go back to the process, so we, see, I forgot to do this. So make sure all links are in new windows and then generate the Omny video. So Omny gives you the ability to actually create videos of your podcast, which we then move to YouTube. And so what we do here is we're waiting for it to be published, but there it goes. So video, generate video. And you can see that eventually we're going to start seeing how many downloads. If people are watching it through the Omny website or the embedded player, it will actually tell you like how long they're listening for. And if you ever need to come back and make any changes, it's all here with a running history of who's changed what and things. It's quite good. Your analytical data and so forth. Obviously, this is not going to have anything because I've literally just published it. Then what we need to do is follow the process. So I've now created the video. I ping the feed burner. So we actually run our feed through feed burner. So I click this link here, which will go and tell feed burner that there's an update. I can then check the feed by checking this. And hopefully now 65, the raw edition, is there. So it all happens pretty quickly. Like if I was to refresh iTunes now, this episode would be there ready for someone to watch it. So I'm happy with that. Then what I need to do is I go to our website backend. And as you can see, like we've created all these processes in Trello with all these nice to easy links that we can click to. So let me log into the back end of our website. And what we do with our website is we've got a plugin, which I think is called Simple Podcast Press. And what this does is it actually reads the feed. So yeah, it's Simple Podcast Press. It plugs into your WordPress website already and enables you to basically turn your website into a podcast website with a new category called episodes and things like that. But what we do now is I push a button which imports the new episode, so I don't have to copy and paste a lot of the information. So we'll say one new podcast has been found and added. So if I go to episodes, it always will create it as a draft. So if I go to episodes, that will then be there. So you can see here, draft 65, that's the episode here. So I tend to move a little bit quickly on this process because, you know, this is live. People are now being able to listen to it via iTunes, but it's technically not on our website. So just make sure everything's okay. What we do here is we add the media. So we add, which one do we add? This one, raw edition. Insert to post, enter. A little bit boring, apologize, but this is, you know, just I wanted to kind of share with you exactly what we do, that it's not hard. Within, you know, a half an hour process, you can edit and upload a podcast. Obviously, this is taking me a little bit longer because I've got viewers watching and I'm not as fluid as I normally am. So we've just added the artwork there. We make sure we tick the right category. So it's a raw episode. Matt would tick deep dive. I would normally tick razor sharp show for the other ones. We go down here and we... What have they changed here? 65. You know, if you had transcriptions, you could put the transcription there as well. There we are. Episode length, now I think is closer to 22 minutes. So we put that there. We set a featured image, which for Matt and I, it is this one. So you can see with the other shows, like you have to create all these as guests come on. So it can take a little bit longer to do. So let me just make sure that I've done this. So imported, episode as a draft, added the artwork at 500 pixels, uploaded the feature. We don't have quotes for RAWs. Add this code to the end of the show. So copy this. So Simple Podcast Press basically has the ability to put extra cool features down the bottom. You can actually see that through, or you can click these buttons here and it will add different things to it. So you've got like opt-in boxes, you've got short codes of stuff for like a playlist and so forth. So we use the call to action buttons, which are programmed somewhere else. You'll see this in a minute when I go to the live page. I'll talk you through that as well. So I've added those codes to the bottom. Correct category, added the minutes. Okay, the social thing. So with WordPress, you have the ability to influence what becomes the artwork when you share it. So I actually like using this one. Well, it's just, yeah, we use that one there. We do that for Facebook and Twitter. So basically, if someone shares our program, we're telling Facebook through their special codes that this is the artwork we want to be used when someone shares this episode. Don't grab the logo or some of the other images that are embedded around the place. So this is the official image that we want people to use when it's shared. So back to the process, I've done that, and then basically publish. So that is how easy. Now, I know we've been doing it for a little while, and there's a lot of things that click path. But like anything, when you first start to drive, it's very clunky, and you're checking everything, and then eventually you can drive and listen to the radio and sing and do everything pretty cool. Then we click View Post, and we can see here that 65 is now here. We've got the title, we've got the artwork, we've got the description that we wrote, and these are those two codes that I put down the bottom was the call to action and the review. So that's what we've got programmed as our call to action buttons, which is all programmed in the back end of Simple Podcast Press. So we've got a link to our iTunes, leave us a review, download this episode, or listen to it on Stitcher. And that's actually also copied under here. So that's what's known as the call to action buttons. So this episode is now live. If we click play, you can hear that episode. And, basically that is how we publish a podcast. Then what we do, if this was actually a show one, we send the show an email guest to say that their show is live along with artwork and so forth. One of the other things we've just built in recently is actually going to the debugger tool on Facebook. Because the first time Facebook, someone submits, it doesn't know who you are. So by doing this, you actually, it says, it's never been shared before, so we can fetch the information. And this is the Facebook debugger tool for sharing. And it will go and look at the website. Now, for some reason, we have to scrape twice. I don't know why, but that's just what happens to bring up the artwork. So we can see now, I think that's because we actually have a redirect going on. So you can see that like /65 actually links to this, but that's the artwork I put before. So, that way now all the sharing is going to be a lot more consistent and so forth. So that is basically how we upload a podcast to Omny and then bring it over to our website. Now, just for the sake of showing you how cool the Omny website is, if you wanted to, you could launch your website from the Omny website, which looks like this. So the whole extra step of moving it to WordPress would not be necessary if I just used the Omny website as the website to play and be our website. It can link to Facebook, Twitter. You can click on the episode. It has a very nice player with artwork. You can view the description, all the links work. Like, it's actually really, 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 really powerful. And in hindsight, like, if we were ever going to test a new podcast idea, I would hands down be doing it like this. So that way there's not a lot of moving parts, because there's, the good thing about Omny is you can schedule podcasts in advance. Now, we could schedule a lot of podcasts in advance, but because we've got this manual step to bring our podcast to our actual website, it means that we can't really schedule things, because even though we'll go live on Omny and on iTunes, we then have to click that button to import it, make it live, change some things around. So we created a little bit of extra work for ourselves now by having all these extra steps by pushing it to the website. And that's because we want to have the artwork on the website and a quote card. If we didn't want to have any of that, we could literally tell it that when it imports it, it automatically pushes it to live. But then, certain things wouldn't happen. It wouldn't know the time. It wouldn't have featured images, things like that. So it's not necessarily needed to do that, but that's what we did initially, and now we kind of stuck with that as our theme of our website. But you can see from the Omny point of view, it's a very nice way of having a website. So if you're looking to start a podcast, make sure that you check out Omny. Now, if you do want to check out Omny and you would like us to get some little bit of kudos for sharing it with you, this is an open affiliate link. Check out podcastlaunch.co/Omny. So if you go to podcastlaunch.co/Omny, that will automatically redirect you to the Omny page with our affiliate code in the URL. There's no hidden things here. We are very transparent. I really don't even know what credit we get. So I have no idea what it is. So I do definitely believe that Omny is one of the best platforms to host a podcast. So I guess on that note, thank you very much for joining me on this call. I don't even know how long we've gone for, but I think it's been pretty fun. I know I had to do this task anyway, so I'm glad that you came along for the journey, and look forward to possibly helping you launch your podcast. So if you're ready to take your business to the next level and amplify your message to more people, then head over to podcastlaunch.co, where you can join our growing list of people who are also looking to launch their podcast. So until next time, be sure to stay sharp, and we look forward to launching a podcast with you.